Title's not clickbait. The biggest YouTube scam has just been revealed by a channel called Megalag. I highly recommend checking out the full video. This is extraordinary work. It was a multi-year investigation that he conducted, and his findings could make even Enron's accountants start sweating. It is gross how bad this company he investigated is. And it's a company you've all heard of. It's a company I have used for a long time. Honey. You know that free browser extension that's supposed to be going and getting you coupons at checkout to save you money on purchases? The one that has that playful piece of shit mascot that's just a diet Microsoft Clippy whom now I can't stand to look at after learning about how atrocious this scam is? Yeah, that Honey. The one that's owned by PayPal that they purchased for fucking 4 billion clams. Turns out it's all a load of fish paste. Honey, more like phony, because it's all fraudulent. Now, of course, I can't say that from a legal perspective, but from a common sense perspective, after everything I've learned from the Megalag investigation, I think it's definitely fallen into the textbook definition of a scam. Though I imagine the lawyers aren't going to be too gung-ho about suing people that are labeling them a scam or calling them mean words, because they're probably too busy stretching out, cracking their knuckles, getting ready for the impending catastrophic class action lawsuit that's heading their way. And I mean that sincerely. I do think that this investigation from Megalag will lead to a huge class action lawsuit against Honey for all of the many millions of dollars that it has most likely cost a ton of people.
Honey hasn't just been scamming you, the consumer, they've also been stealing money from influencers, including the very ones they paid to promote their product. And I'm not just talking about a few bucks here. I believe this scam has likely cost content creators millions of dollars.
Honey's stretching everyone's holes here, both the consumer who downloads Honey as well as the creator that promoted the Honey. That does include me. I have worked with Honey in the past because I was an avid Honey user. It seemed like a pretty simple, effective product. It'd just find coupons at checkout to save a little money. I didn't think there was anything nefarious going on under the hood, but it turns out couldn't have been more wrong. Obviously, knowing what I know now about this company, I wish I never worked with them. I'm sorry for ever having promoted Honey. I clearly didn't know any of this was going on. Nobody did until Megalag's investigation. This was something that there wasn't even whispers of. He mentions in the video he had only found like one page where people even speculated on it with nothing concrete. So it wasn't until this multi-year investigation that any of this information came to light. It's a very sneaky, hidden mechanism that it uses to scam consumers and content creators. And what Megalag has put into the light here is extremely important. So he starts by demonstrating how it steals money from content creators, and it is probably the most creative way of fucking people I have seen since I first found browsers in high school.
Linus tells you about this free browser extension that saves you money online, you install it in 2 clicks, and boom, you have Honey. So you scroll down and find Linus's affiliate link to that product. Now, for those of you who don't know, when you click an affiliate link and buy something, the influencer who promoted the product earns a commission for referring you to that store. So you add the product to your cart, get to the checkout page, and hello, Honey says they found you 10 coupon codes. Sweet. You click apply discounts and Honey gets to work. But unfortunately, none of the coupon codes worked. Doesn't matter though, because as Honey has promised us for years, that means we know we've got the best deal. So you complete your purchase, you're happy, your new CPU's on the way, Linus is happy, he's getting his commission, everyone's happy, right?
Wrong. You'd be very wrong if you said everyone was happy there. This isn't a fucking fairy tale. This is big business, and everything's horrible. So, if you've never used Honey, that's how it works. When you're checking out, you'll have your little goofball pop up. He'll be like, oh geez, Rick, we gotta apply some coupons here to save you some blimflarkles. Click here to save some money, because we're gonna look for coupons. And so he's gonna go look for coupons at checkout to try and save you some money. Sometimes it'll find coupons, sometimes the mascot will wander in, soft cock in hand with nothing to offer you, saying, whoops-a-daisy, sorry, didn't find anything, is what it is. And that's the way she goes. Now, Megalag is talking about affiliate links. As he mentioned, if you use an affiliate link like in a description, and you purchase a product through that link, the creator that you click the link from will get some kind of commission off of that sale. Now, Honey does something very interesting with that whole process there.
After clicking Linus's affiliate link, you'll notice in the URL, there's a tracking tag labeled Short Circuit. That's a reference to one of Linus's YouTube channels. And this tracking tag is how Newegg knows who to pay a commission to. We can also see that this tracking tag has been saved on my browser in the form of a cookie that will expire in 30 days. That way, if we only decide to complete the purchase a few days later, Linus will still be credited the sale. So what happened when we got to the checkout page? Well, once Honey popped up, watch what happened to Linus's affiliate cookie after we clicked apply discounts. You see that? Honey came in, removed Linus's affiliate cookie, and replaced it with their own, claiming credit for the sale and pocketing the commission money for themselves. Yeah.
Never before has that sound effect, that like dramatic bass boom sound effect, been more appropriate. That is a huge deal. That is millions of dollars, no exaggeration, actually millions of dollars that PayPal Honey is making through stealing those commissions. By replacing the affiliate link with their own at the very end of checkout, without the consumer ever even knowing this happens, they're able to take the entire commission while the influencer or whoever that brought them there gets nothing. They get the whole pie, and the creator doesn't even get the fucking crust. It's so devious.
Now, if we quickly go back again, we can see what's causing this to happen. After clicking apply discounts, what you'll notice is that in the top left corner of your browser, Honey discreetly opens a small new tab, which acts like a simulated referral click, as if they were the ones to refer you to the website, even though you're already on the website and at the checkout page. Once that page is finished loading and has stuffed PayPal's affiliate cookie, the tab automatically closes, leaving you blissfully unaware that anything ever happened. It's very sneaky.
This isn't some kind of freak accident, it's not some kind of glitch or a ghost in the machine. Mr. Krabs isn't in the soul of Honey doing this without Honey themselves knowing about it. This is by design. They do this on purpose.
I'll reach out to Honey and ask them directly, and sure enough, they came back to me with the following. If Honey is activated and is the last program used while shopping on a site, it is likely Honey will receive credit for the purchase.
They are shockingly open about that. They almost seem jolly and proud. Well, hello there, salutations, tipping the fedora. Thanks for contacting us. Yeah, we're shitting on you. Big whoop, and you're welcome for it. Thanks so much. And he goes on to give like a real world example, so that way it's a little easier to understand how unacceptable this is. He even goes on to say that he can't see how it's anything less than fraud, and I agree. This seems like fraud. Megalag gives a real world example to demonstrate just how outrageous this whole thing is. He states, imagine that you're going to a department store buying a TV, there's a salesman and he sells you on the perfect TV. You now have that salesman's card that you take to the front with your TV, so that way the salesman can get the commission. But right when you're paying for the TV, a sleazy greaseball comes out of nowhere saying, wait just a minute, champ, hold on, let me see if I have any coupons. I got nothing. Alright, good luck. But before he leaves, he switches out that salesman's card with his own card. So now the salesman that actually sold you the TV gets nothing, whereas that guy who came in at the very end gets everything. That is how this concept works in the real world. That would be completely unacceptable. PayPal Honey did none of the work to get the consumer there to get the purchase or anything, yet it takes the entire piece of the pie and leaves not even the crust behind. And in the real world, this, again, would be the equivalent of someone coming in at the last second like a jump scare, like, woo, here's a coupon. I'm kidding, we don't have any coupons, but I'm still going to take the whole commission. So then using some sleight of hand that would fool even Penn and Teller, he swaps out that salesman's card with his own, and the consumer doesn't know it, and the salesman that got swapped doesn't know it either. That's what PayPal Honey does. But here's the thing, even if it did find a coupon for the consumer at checkout, it still shouldn't be overriding the affiliates. It still shouldn't be stuffing that out. They did none of the work to get the consumer to the site or anything at all. They did nothing for the sale. They just came in at the very end and found a coupon. That's still bad that it would overwrite that. But it actually even gets worse. It'll do this even when it has no coupons to even search for.
Honey pops up right at the end of your purchasing journey, virtually guaranteeing they'll win that last click. They of course know this and do anything they can to get that last click, even when there's no coupon codes to offer. Which brings us to scenario 2. Honey Gold, which is now called PayPal Rewards. Here's how it works. When you get to the checkout and Honey Gold is available, Honey pops up and is essentially saying, hey you, consumer, click this button here so PayPal can claim the commission for the sale, and we'll share a portion of that commission money with you in the form of points. It's basically a lame cashback scheme. And it's genius because if there are no coupons to offer, but the store is participating in Honey Gold, it gives Honey another reason to get that last click.
He explained what last click was, and it's basically the last thing that you click is what's going to get the credit for the commission. And Honey is constantly fighting to be that last click by any means necessary. Come hell or high water, they will leave mangled corpses in the fucking streets if it means they can consistently get that last click on checkout. So this is one of its other mechanisms to get that last click, where you can activate rewards at the very end.
I decided to put Honey Gold to the test. So I looked for any website where Honey Gold was offered and found it on NordVPN. And no, this is not a sneaky sponsorship. So I signed up for NordVPN's affiliate program, which offers 40% commission on successful referrals. After getting approved into the program, I received a custom affiliate link for my YouTube channel. Using this link, I made 2 separate purchases. For the first, I activated Honey Gold, and sure enough, you can see my affiliate cookie was replaced with Honey's. And for the second, I didn't activate Honey Gold. As expected, I was awarded a $35 commission for the sale where Honey Gold wasn't activated, and received nothing when Honey Gold was activated. So how much of my stolen $35 commission did PayPal share as cash back with my Honey account, aka the consumer? Brace yourselves, 89 points, which is equivalent to 89 cents.
I knew it was going to be bad, but somehow that is even worse than I expected it to be. It gets the entire kit and caboodle of the commission, all 35 doubloons. It gets the spaghetti and the meatballs, and it gives you not even a morsel, not even a tiddlywink of it. 89 cents of the $35? Holy shit. Again, this is for doing nothing, by the way. It is doing nothing. It is doing this just to desperately try and get that last click so it can take the whole commission. And again, this isn't put front facing. People didn't even know this was going on until this investigation. It is so sneaky with this shit. It exists solely to steal, poach those affiliates, to take that commission on the back end. That's nuts. That's why I'm saying this will likely be a huge class action lawsuit. There is no telling how many millions of dollars they've been able to make quietly like this. Megalag demonstrated one. They got $35 from that. That's a lot. Like, that is a big commission, really. Just think about that on a large scale. Megalag pulls up the numbers. Honey had been promoting on YouTube in particular to the tune of like 7.9 billion views worth of videos. They had like 5,000 or something like sponsored segments across so many different channels. 7.9 billion views. They have what, 20 million users? Think about how much money they were pulling in from this scam. It's huge. Like, this is something that Bernie Madoff would roll over in his grave at with this fraud.
You click on their affiliate link and get to the checkout. But in this scenario, Honey knows it has nothing to offer. No coupon codes, no Honey Gold, yet it still pops up to announce absolutely nothing. Annoying as fuck. Naturally, you click the got it button to get rid of the annoying dancing coin, and whoa, what's that? PayPal takes the sale.
I couldn't help but just laugh at that one. That is cartoonishly evil. That is so scummy. So even if it has no coupons, it has no Honey Gold capabilities, it will still pop up on something totally unrelated through the affiliate link and just say like, hey, listen. We've got nothing to say. Sorry, pranked you. We got nothing. Go ahead and close us. Just go ahead and say got it. Get rid of us. Sorry. Just wanted to let you know we're here. And when you do that, it takes the sale. It still takes the whole commission because you interacted with it. It was your last click. It's unbelievable.
Why? Because fuck you, Mary. That's your commission. But wait, there's more. My personal favorite is when Honey has nothing to offer, so pops up offering you to check out with PayPal, even though the option is already available at the checkout page. And of course, if you click the checkout button, PayPal poaches the sale. Classy.
There is just no world where that isn't illegal, right? Like, there can't be a world where that can fly. That has to be something that this company would be run into the ground for. Like, I'm no lawyer. I didn't pass the bar. Shit, barely passed the SATs. But I would still say, using my tiny little noodle up here, my smooth brain, that's a big no-no. I think they're probably going to face some big repercussions for that now that this is starting to blow up and come to light. Now, in the next section of the video, Megalag goes on to talk about how he was checking into the Linus forums to see if anyone was talking about Honey, and he did find someone that was sounding the alarm quite a few years ago, but it just didn't get a lot of traction. And then in 2022, someone noticed that Linus wasn't working with Honey anymore. So they asked about it, and Linus Media Group representative came out and said, yeah, they didn't like the way that it interacted with the affiliate links, so they stopped working with them. And Megalag says that he was pretty disappointed that they weren't more vocal about that, because if they could have sounded the alarm about this whole scheme, there could have been some more damages that were prevented over the next couple of years, but they just kept it kind of hush for some reason. And that is very disappointing from Linus and the team for not talking about this if they knew what was going on. And then Megalag goes on to talk about, well, they did actually take a different coupon sponsor that does the same thing called Karma.
Essentially, if someone clicked on an affiliate link and then they use Honey and search for a deal, Honey will override that tracking link even if they don't find you a deal. That didn't jive with us, so we ended the partnership. They should have made more noise about this. But what's truly baffling to me is that after LMG ended their partnership with Honey, they then went ahead and partnered with a company called Karma Now, a coupon browser extension that literally engages in similar behavior.
As Megalag said, it's very telling just how deceptive this Honey scam is when even a tech-focused company like LMG doesn't catch on to it for years. And it is baffling that even when they did catch on to it or were tipped off about it, they chose a different coupon sponsor that does like basically the same thing, it seems. That's so weird. That is so weird. Now, the next part of the video showcases how Honey scams you, the consumer. Now it's not only about the influencers getting all their affiliates commissions stolen. Now, Megalag shows you what Honey does to fuck you in the face.
When I reached the checkout page, Honey would claim it couldn't find me any coupon codes. Yet when I searched manually, I found working codes with these. And even when Honey did find me a code, I was often able to find another code of better value. Kind of strange, given their claim that,
well, thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is now a thing of the past.
Another oddity was that Honey would often only find me Honey branded coupon codes, such as Honey 5 or Honey 10. Why would a store only have Honey branded coupon codes? Kind of weird, right? But the biggest red flag was that when I tried submitting the better coupon codes I'd found, Honey wasn't adding them to their database.
Now, this was not a case of Honey just not doing its job well, where it was missing a couple of coupons here and there that were slipping through the cracks, but it was still trying its best, and it was still doing an admirable, noble attempt at finding you those best deal coupons. It wasn't doing its job at all. When Megalag would submit coupons to it, it wouldn't even take it into the database, and it was far more effective to just manually enter coupons because Honey wasn't finding them, and it was finding a lot of Honey coupons pretty often. All very peculiar, I would say.
It turns out that one of the key benefits for stores partnering with Honey is that they are given full control over which coupon codes go live on the platform, if any at all.
What would you say to any brand that is considered working with Honey but hasn't yet?
I would say missing out on converting customers. Like I said before, Gen Z is super discount savvy. You can't ignore the fact that they will hunt for like discount codes and they might find a better deal. With Honey, you can also control the discount code percentage, which means like they will potentially find a higher discount code on the internet. It literally lets you control like the customer journey, convert and control like the discount code percentage as well.
This is a podcast that Megalag found that seems to be focused on trying to drive more brands to work with Honey. So this is a brand that has worked with Honey talking about the benefits. One of them that she's very excited about is that with Honey, it helps discourage consumers from seeking out coupon codes, and with Honey, you can control which coupon codes are even getting shared in the first place. So let's say there's a 20% off coupon that does exist for this brand, but the brand doesn't really want it shared with everyone using Honey. Well, then it just doesn't. Honey won't share it if the brand doesn't want it to. It's one of the benefits of working with Honey. You won't have that 20% go out to the consumers. Maybe instead you'll give them a 5% through Honey, or none. Maybe you won't even let them share any of the coupons through Honey. So even if the coupons do exist, the brand may not want Honey to share it with consumers, so it won't. Which of course is counterintuitive to even owning Honey in the first place. The whole point is that it's supposed to find the best deals, the best coupons to use. But if the brands can say we don't want the best deals to be shared with them, then Honey will say, okay, that's fine. All right, that's okay. You got it, Chief. And it won't.
You have control over the content hosted on the Honey platform. So yes, even if Honey knows of a coupon code that offers say 20% off, but a partnering store tells them, hey, only share a 5% off coupon, then that's the only discount Honey will apply to your cart at the checkout page. I mean, holy shit. Honey wasn't finding you the best deals possible, they were intentionally withholding them from you for their own financial gain. If you partner with us and pay us an affiliate commission, we'll let you control which discount codes are shared on our platform. And we'll tell our consumers we scoured the internet and found them the best deal possible.
This is a scam Ed, Edd n Eddy wouldn't even pull for Jawbreakers. Every component of Honey is a fucking lie. Every single piece of Honey is exploitative. Every single one. So in this video, he talked about how it's scamming consumers as well as the influencers that have promoted it. And he teases that in part 2, there's an entirely new victim that is also getting fucked by Honey. Megalag leads into the upcoming part by stating that in his experimenting and his investigation, he noticed there were times where Honey worked extremely well to an almost unbelievable degree with discounts and deals that just made no sense with everything else he was finding, and sometimes it wasn't overwriting the affiliates. So it wasn't making sense how that discrepancy was happening with everything else he had learned. And then it clicked and he figured out what was going on. So that's what part 2 is going to focus on. And he has some interviews that he has at like a sizzler reel at the end. It's actually incomprehensible just how deep this rabbit hole goes. It really just seems like everything about PayPal Honey is fraudulent, just a full-blown scam. Like that's what it seems. I don't know how any of it could possibly be explained away or justified. I mean, shit, even when they were directly asked about it, they were like, yeah, hey, that is what it is. If Honey's the last thing you click, yeah, we're taking the affiliate. Like, what? Honey is usually going to be the last thing that someone clicks if you have Honey, because you might as well check if there's discounts. That's like the whole selling point of Honey. But not only is it not actually finding you the best coupons, if it's even finding you coupons, it is then stealing the commission from the affiliate that got you there in the first place. So it's fucking everybody for doing nothing. And even when it is actually doing full-blown nothing, where it's on a site that doesn't have Honey Gold, it has no coupons, it will still pop up just to say nothing. It just goes, and then you click got it to get rid of it, and then it will still steal the commission. It is just crazy how scummy this is. I cannot imagine that what Honey is doing and how it operates is legal. It can't be. It shouldn't be if it somehow is through loopholes. That is completely unacceptable. And Megalag's investigation is extraordinary. A huge thanks to Megalag for bringing all of this information to light. It's an incredible video. Again, I highly recommend you check out the full thing. There's going to be a link to it in the description of this one. I didn't even cover all of it. He has done an immaculate job with this investigation. This is up there with CoffeeZilla's best work. This is incredible. So huge thanks to Megalag for doing this. So yeah, that's really about it. See ya. A year ago now, a YouTuber named Megalag dropped a video that was the culmination of an extended investigation that spanned the course of a very long period of time about a company who has worked very closely in the YouTube ecosystem for years, Honey, who was once the YouTube darling sponsor absolutely everywhere, more common than the cold, and never really had like a bad reputation, but Megalag, through a very extensive investigation, found some shocking, shady things that not a lot of people knew about. And I don't want to just regurgitate everything from that video. I'm sure you probably have already seen it because it was such a huge deal. Even outside of just the YouTube space, it was a really big thing. Because this is a multi-billion-dollar company that was engaging in some really underhanded tactics that really tiptoe on the line for what is and is not legal, many would argue, which is why they've been faced with so many civil lawsuits since. Now, I know one of them was recently dismissed, but from what I can tell, it's not fully dismissed. It's pending an amendment, from what I can tell. But even still, even if that one gets crumpled up and thrown in the wastebasket from fucking way downtown, that's one of many. There's a lot still out there cooked up and being pushed against PayPal Honey. It's like the scene in SpongeBob when the anchovies charge the Krusty Krab. There is so many civil lawsuits here because a ton of people feel like they have been wronged, misled, and even in certain cases scammed by PayPal Honey. Megalag came from the top turnbuckle and delivered a biblical smackdown with a lot of really convincing evidence, and just released his part 2, the follow-up, which goes even deeper and exposes even more, and also starts talking about it from the small businesses that are being affected and a lot of things that are just being outright lied about by PayPal Honey, allegedly here. It's fascinating, and PayPal Honey has cease and desisted Megalag, claiming a bit of horseradish, I would say, trying to silence him, because these are really damning things. The evidence is very, very strong. I highly recommend you check out the entire video from Megalag here. Of course, I'll link it in the description. I'm only going to cover a small portion of this because I really think you need to watch the entire thing. I think you need to see how the sausage is made here, but I will cover a couple of core components. But just as a little refresher, if you don't remember some of the things PayPal Honey is accused of, one of the big things outside of, like, obviously consumers not exactly getting what they thought they were out of Honey is the affiliate poaching. So creators that worked with Honey that would have their own special deals to promote to their audience, the audience would then use those codes on the website, but Honey had some protocol that would occasionally perhaps poach that sale and take the commission that was supposed to go to the creator, and they would take the lion's share. There were a lot of cases that Megalag was able to point to, and even in his follow-up video shows even stronger evidence for, of how this actually functions, where it seems to be a core component of Honey itself, where it will overwrite your cookie, it will inject itself, and it is looking to make that commission in a lot of cases. It's very scummy shit. And I know after the first video he dropped, a lot of people's response was, who gives a fuck? The creators can suck my dick, and my heart doesn't break for these businesses. They can go eat dirt. Okay, that's your prerogative. I'm not your fucking dad. I'm not going to come in there with the belt and make you change your mind or whatever. That's fine. But in this second part of the video, you can hear from a business how that actually fucks you as a consumer.
A few hours ago, PayPal's lawyer sent me a cease and desist letter and requested Patreon take down my video under a copyright infringement claim. I consider this a direct attack against my fundamental rights as an independent journalist. PayPal has specifically taken issue with the fact that an anonymous source discovered Honey had left their source code exposed within their iOS app, which, if you know where to look, is publicly accessible. This anonymous source found the code and sent it to me. I reviewed the code for security research purposes, which is a protected act, and I only published relevant sections of the code that provide important context to the story, which I consider within the realm of public interest.
I haven't seen the unredacted video here where the source code was, like, more talked about, where he had these video components that showed, I suppose, sections of that when it was relevant. But it seems like it was more so a convenient excuse for PayPal to get the video taken down from his Patreon, and in order to get around that for the YouTube video, he just took the entire section out. Again, I haven't seen with my own peepers here what it looked like in all its glory with the full makeup on, where, you know, the source code section was intact. But just based off of, like, the small bit, apparently it wasn't even that long, it feels like it's a pretty flimsy thing for PayPal to try and, like, strike it down for. I imagine it's more so to, like, hide even further proof for some of the things that you're about to learn about in the rest of the video. I never like when companies do something like this. Of course, there is, like, copyright protections, and in certain cases it makes sense to do so. I can't really see a strong justification for their action here on the cease and desist. It doesn't really pass the smell test for me here, especially considering it seems like he was very reserved with what was displayed from the source code based on how he speaks about it. But again, I can't say for 100% certain. I just find it hard to believe that PayPal Honey was acting in good faith with the cease and desist. That seems like they're trying to hush him up a bit.
Why? Well, you see, besides lying to consumers and stealing from influencers, Honey was also causing serious harm to small businesses. So much so that I believe brands have likely suffered millions of dollars in damages. But that's not all. In this video, you're also going to learn how Honey was collecting and sharing your data, and how they, in my opinion, illegally targeted minors through influencers such as Mr. Beast. Strong accusations, I know, but I have the receipts.
And the receipts are pretty convincing. So those are like the main components of this new video. This is an hour-long video almost. It goes deep here. This shit is deeper than my pussy. It is a very thorough look at all of it. And I know after the first video, people had a lot of questions, and I feel like here he sheds even more light on it through an even deeper analysis of honey itself and the way in which it functions. It's not just him working alone. He had people help him with like getting a lot of the data so it can be viewed more easily and more accessible. So that way he doesn't have to make any like leaping conclusions or anything. He doesn't have to just like start trying to fill in the blanks off of, just fucking hunch, like intuition. He's able to look at these things much closer in order to draw much stronger, analysis from it. It really is quite the deep dive, and like I said, I don't want to like show just a ton of his video. I would really like you to go watch it yourself because I think it is eye-opening stuff. I want to focus on just a couple of things here that I know a lot of people debated after the first video about like, well, why should anyone that's not a creator or a fucking business owner care? Who gives a shit? Call the wambulance. I think that one of the business owners that Megalag had in this video giving his piece explains why this is a big deal, why it is bad for not only the small businesses that are not consenting to working with honey, that are kind of just being forced to without even their knowledge sometimes, why it is bad for them with receipts and email exchange with PayPal honey directly, why it has been a nightmare for them, and why it is also bad for you. You also get the business end of this penis. Even if you're not a honey user, if you're watching this be like, well, I don't care, I don't use honey anyway, well, it still affects you. And it's a very simple reason how and why.
In fact, Made and Cookware CEO Chip perfectly summed up the devastating impact honey's actions can have on a small business.
When you're in the early stages of building a business, you're in the stage of, will this company even work? Is there product market fit? How do I scale this thing? Can the economics work, right? And so all the things we talked about, these discount codes and the kind of removal of attribution and killing margin, like those really affect the early stages of a company, from everything from where do I put the next dollar in to make sure I can survive down to you're taking 10, 15, 20% of my sales without me wanting it. And we have digital marketing costs, we have shipping costs, we have all these stacks of costs that not only are getting more inflated over time, like FedEx has been raising their rates over time, warehousing costs have gone up, COGS have gone up, as you know, through inflation for the last 4 or 5 years, right? Like all the cost structures have been going up, and to have someone just stealing and compressing the actual revenue you want, like puts small businesses in a real squeeze. It's just really disappointing, and it doesn't even work, because at the end of the day, like you need to make the numbers work. And if honey is going to steal 10% of your revenue all the time, you're going to have to raise prices at the end of the day to make up for that, right? And so it's not only not effective, but it makes it worse for the consumer. It compresses for the small business owner any margin. And it's just like a really awful business model. Like we've been so mad at them.
That is a great explanation from him. I think that's very valuable insight that paints the whole picture clearly. Even if you're in a fucking Xanax-induced fugue state right now listening to this, I feel like you'd hear that and understand what makes this so bad for everybody. Businesses, consumers, and obviously like the affiliate partners like the creators. One other thing that was mentioned, but I didn't put it here in this space, is how brands, like when they find out about honey poaching the affiliate commissions, it makes it hard for them to know where to attribute commissions. So what'll happen is this confusion where they don't know where a commission goes. So like, let's say they're working with a podcaster or a YouTuber or something, and things get really muddy. It makes it hard for them to know where they're supposed to put that money in the first place. So what ends up happening is they end up pulling out of that market entirely. So now they're not working with your favorite content creator anymore. So they're getting shafted. And they also potentially overspend on the compensation because of how confusing it gets. There was another example given how like a business had spent over $100,000 on like potentially like misattributed commissions from the affiliate marketing as a result of this kind of shit. Like it gets to be a lot. So then they pull out of that market as well. But what's obviously the thing a lot of people are going to care the most about is how it makes the deals worse for you, because as he said, if PayPal Honey is going to be taking 10% of all of their revenue through this, which they can't really do a whole lot about, their hands being tied, well, they're going to have to make up for that loss somehow. And that is raising prices. That's how you make the numbers work again. if you're going to be losing 10%, you're going to have to raise the prices in order to compensate, so that way you're not going like negative or you're not starting to like tread water, which is what a lot of businesses inevitably have to do. And something like PayPal Honey putting the squeeze on them makes it worse. So that is a huge problem, and that is how it affects you, even if you are not a Honey user yourself. It is a bad deal for everybody involved here, except Honey. But what's a good deal for everybody is the Starforge Christmas sale. It's live now. Click the link in the description if you're looking to upgrade your PC. Best PCs in the universe.
Chip was kind enough to share his email exchanges with Honey from 2020. And you need to see it because holy shit. Hi, I am the CEO of Meeting Cookware. Please remove us from your app. You've scraped a private friends and family code from our checkout and put it on the platform for others to use. We've lost a bunch of revenue. 4 days later, Honey responds with, "Hi Chip, thanks for reaching out. Honey supports over 40,000 stores online, and we always prioritize protecting the Honey experience for users by supporting available stores and displaying available codes. We can absolutely remove the code in question. In order to protect the Honey experience for our users, we typically do not remove codes unless we have a working relationship." I mean, right off the bat, they're basically saying, we won't compromise the experience for our users unless you pay us. Classy. We'd love to discuss how we can work more closely and partner with your brand. Chip replies the same day, "We don't offer affiliate deals to coupon sites. We'd like to be removed from your site and extension completely."
The email showcased just how difficult it is to just be removed from Honey. He is putting in plain English, hey, we're losing revenue because of you guys. Please just take us off of this shit. I'm begging. It's like a fucking telemarketer that's refusing to take you off the call sheet. It's brutal. He reaches out to them because Honey had scraped a private code, which is something that earlier in the video, Megalag shows very strong evidence as like a thing that happens, not super unusual with Honey, which is a code that they didn't want to be public. It shouldn't have been public. A lot of businesses have these kind of private codes for like employees or friends and families, or in some cases, as was mentioned earlier in this video, like veterans or something. And Honey will sometimes get these codes and make them public so people can use them, which really fucks the businesses because those weren't supposed to be public. They were supposed to be for a specific person or a specific purpose. So the CEO we just heard from, this is his exchange with them reaching out like, hey, this happened to us. We're losing revenue. Get rid of this and please take us off of Honey entirely. We don't want to work with you. And whatever zombie he's talking to over there at Honey is just not letting that shit fly. They're playing hardball, trying their best to keep them shackled to Honey, even though they didn't want Honey to be there in the first place. They were uninvited to this hootenanny, yet now they don't have a choice.
His leak code was added through Honey's user-generated coupon functionality. No surprises there. She completely ignores his request to be removed from the platform, only offering to remove the leaked employee discount. Chip replies the same day, "Our friends and family code was listed on your site. That was an internal code meant for a small group of people that was never published anywhere. Our whole site can't be removed from your app." Honey only responds a week later, confirming they removed the employee discount, but again, completely ignores Chip's request to be removed from Honey. Chip responds immediately, pushing for an answer, but they ignore his email completely. A month later, and Honey leaks another private discount code. "Hi, please remove from your app. That is a private code behind a private employee perk login. This should never be public. I don't understand how you feel taking a private employee perk and making that public to the world is helping our business." Honey responds confirming they removed the code, but instead of taking responsibility, they try shifting the blame onto Chip, suggesting his employees might be responsible for sharing the code with Honey. But given what we know about their system, I'm willing to bet Honey were responsible for the leak, not Chip's employees. Honey then suggests that Chip creates single-use codes for each and every employee.
Wonderful. Thanks for the unsolicited advice there on how he should run his business with his employees here, knowing full well that Honey does, in cases, take that kind of shit, even if it wasn't the fault of the employee. Allegedly. Like, it's fucking sickening. It's so disgusting. Like, the pompous attitude that comes through on these emails from Honey. This is a business that did not want to be with Honey in the first place. And there was another business that was interviewed in this video about like how he'd never even heard of Honey, but apparently people were getting tons of discounts on his site because of Honey, and he had never even fucking heard of the service before. So Honey and you're about to hear from Megalag in the video here, Honey seems to just be subjecting these businesses, these small businesses, to their wrath, where they're just giving out, in certain cases, private coupon codes to users, which obviously damages the small business and causes them to lose revenue and causes a huge headache there. And then the only way to get off of it is by partnering with Honey, and basically, once you are partnered with Honey, then you tell them to exclude that kind of stuff, which is something that piggybacks off of a bit of what Megalag talked about in the first video, where, you know, partnered brands, they have like these certain exclusions and stuff. It's a really like awful business model that is bad for literally everyone but Honey. And it's kind of mind-boggling how the only way to get out of it in a small business's position like this is to partner with Honey and say, stop fucking us. No more of these coupons. So they get you. They get you because they fuck you raw a bit, and they slap you around, and then when you go to them for like assistance, they're like, can't really do anything about that unless you were partnered with Honey. You ever thought about that? If you work with us, maybe fork over a couple doubloons, a little bit of those clams, well, maybe then we can work a little something out about these pesky little coupons our millions of users keep finding.
2 months later, and another private code gets leaked. And once again, Chip asks to be completely removed from the platform. And this time, Honey finally addresses the question. We proudly host a consistent shopping experience for all Honey shoppers who rely on our shopping tools. Therefore, we cannot disable Honey for individual stores, and never have. Never have, huh? Well, that's interesting, because it just so happens that Andrew from TrueGrit Texture Supply also shared his email exchange with Honey. And would you believe it? He was dealing with the exact same Honey employee as Chip. And while Honey attempted the same sales pitch with Andrew, they did eventually remove his store from the platform. So yes, it is possible, and yes, they have done it before. Once again, we've caught Honey in yet another calculated and deliberate lie. And make no mistake, it was deliberate, because this employee, Kelly, confirmed the removal of Andrew's store just 1 month before assuring Chip that Honey had never removed a store before.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to argue that there. It's the same person, and also they removed that previous business a month prior to this exchange with my cookware. So, it's pretty obvious that she's telling some tall tales here. This is a big old fib. They can remove them from Honey, but it seems like they'd rather not, because they'd rather you partner with them so that way they can get a little more out of it, and then you can finally stop bleeding money through these private coupons that surprisingly just keep getting leaked through Honey. It's so fucked up. Like, it really is like a crazy rabbit hole here.
When merchants discover their codes have leaked and then they want to clamp down on that, they go to these coupon extensions and plea and request to have their codes removed. And 9 times out of 10, the response is join our affiliate program and you'll have more granular control over that. And so I think merchants tend to feel a little bit as though they're being blackmailed or extorted, because you join the affiliate program and then you have to pay that coupon extension company every time somebody uses a code. And you're doing that in order to have them not share your codes.
That beautifully explains just how scummy this model is, where it does appear that these small businesses feel forced to join these programs here with companies like PayPal Honey, because if they don't, well, they might keep having these problems, but by joining that company, they're not exactly all that much better off, because now they're going to have to make those affiliate payments there. So like, it is just a lose-lose for the businesses. Now, I don't want to spend too much time talking about that section here. Again, I think you should watch the whole video. I do want to touch on where he gets into like the Mr. Beast component, which is in the thumbnail, and something that was mentioned at the start of the video about like how he believes that Honey has been strategically targeting minors in certain instances based on who they've partnered with, like Mr. Beast, as well as a couple other examples he gives, and why that might not exactly be completely legal, allegedly, because there is laws about collecting data on minors. And through his investigation, with very, very strong evidence, including some of PayPal Honey's own information that they themselves have talked about, they do collect your data. They do seemingly share your data. Now in the video, there's even a brief clip where someone is talking about the benefits of Honey's data collection. So even though they explicitly advertise they don't do any of that weirdo shit like collecting and sharing your data or anything like that, the truth of it is that they do collect your data. And to their merchants, they even do brag about how much data they have, and they do share that data. Megalag had a lot of very compelling evidence to prove that fact. I feel like it's pretty obvious, given everything that is accessible, that they do indeed collect that. I'll go ahead and show you that brief clip there, and then we'll get into like how the marketing to minors may be a big issue for Honey.
For their partnered merchants. Discussing the benefits of Honey's data for their partnered merchants.
One of the metrics that we assess very frequently for merchants that work with Honey is, cross-store shopping. So, how many other stores is a user visiting as well as the store in question? They go into 6 stores, they go to 7 stores, they go into 10 stores before they make a decision on where to purchase.
And here's another former senior partnerships manager.
So one of the things we have insight into at Honey, because we're a browser extension and we can see our shoppers and how they shop, is that shoppers love to cross-site comparison shop. We're really kind of following the shopper where they go, and we're with them every step of the way. We have all sorts of tools to make those consumers stickier to those direct-to-consumer brands.
And here's a former PayPal executive discussing how beneficial the data is for their goals.
We've got a full suite of solutions across our consumer platforms that help drive new customers, that help drive loyalty, that help drive conversion, and ultimately sales lift. And we have a lot of analytics and a lot of data, a lot of shopper data, obviously, and that's something that we can unlock on behalf of our partners.
You've got to hand it to Honey. They've truly mastered the art of selling bullshit narratives. To users, they promise privacy, insisting, hey, we never sell or share your data. But to their merchants, they literally bragged about how much of your data they had and how it could be leveraged to provide them with valuable insights into your shopping habits.
I think we can say with a pretty high level of confidence that PayPal Honey does seemingly collect your data and is more than willing to share it. So that whole claim they like to make, and even it was part of some of their marketing about, we don't collect your data and we certainly don't share that data or sell it or anything like that. Looking like that might have been a big load of hooey. Now, as it relates to being potentially a huge issue when it comes to like who they were targeting with some of their advertising, is what I briefly mentioned earlier, where there are laws in place about collecting data on minors. There is a whole host of laws in regards to that subject, and you're about to hear Megalag explain it, but the core issue is, based on some of their ads they were running with some of their partners, as well as who they were partnering with for some of these ads, it does seem like they were directly trying to target Honey to minors, which means they would be collecting data on minors through having this browser extension on their devices.
It's potentially illegal in numerous jurisdictions. Many countries have very strict regulations when it comes to the collection of personal data from minors, and for good reason. Therefore, if you intend on having minors use your product, many jurisdictions require that you obtain parental consent first. But this adds all kinds of technical and legal complexities, which is why many platforms simply limit the use of their service to adults only in their privacy policy, which was Honey's approach, making him Honey's #1 sponsor. In fact, according to my data, MrBeast sponsorships represent over 1/3 of Honey's total sponsored views on YouTube. But it wasn't just MrBeast. Honey sponsored many channels whose content was, in my opinion, clearly targeted at minors. They sponsored Minecraft channels, Roblox channels, cartoon channels. I mean, just watch this video and tell me it's not targeted at children.
This video is sponsored by Honey.
I trimmed it down a bit. He goes on to say, like, if they weren't looking to get minors to install Honey, why would they sponsor someone like MrBeast or these other channels that he gives a quick snippet of, like Roblox, Minecraft, and then that skit? And he's right. The main demographic of MrBeast, it is children. I'm pretty sure that's like an objectively true statement based on data. And Roblox is predominantly a platform used by children. And that cat skit definitely seems like some Nick Jr. stuff there for children. Like, it does appear like they did have marketing pushes that were trying to get honey in front of the eyes of minors and trying to get them to install it on their browser.
If Honey wanted to target minors so badly, they should have just sponsored one. Oh, wait a minute, that's exactly what they did. This, ladies and gentlemen, is Desiree Machado, who at the time was just 14 years old.
Guys, I'm only 14.
Hilariously, one of her videos that Honey sponsored is appropriately titled Back to School. Honey even ran her sponsored segment as a paid advert on YouTube.
If you weren't convinced before, I imagine that was enough to convince you. That's pretty damning. They literally sponsored a child to promote Honey, and even used her sponsored segment as a paid advertisement across YouTube. I think there is a very strong argument with strong evidence to suggest Honey was looking to get honey on the devices of children, and knowing what we know now based on this evidence, it was collecting their data, which is a big legal issue potentially.
I have a challenge for all of you. Go to every computer in your house, your mom's, your dad's, your sister, your brother's computer, and install Honey.
They are literally encouraging kids to install a browser extension that tracks and collects data onto every computer in their household, including those belonging to their siblings. That is fucking insane. And the emojis? I mean, come on!
That is a bad look for Mr. Beast indeed. Oof. It does seem pretty clear that Honey was more than willing to advertise to minors, and this is a browser extension that, based on all available evidence, does indeed track data and share data, which, again, appears to be a lot of laws in place that have very strict rules about that when it comes to the data collection of minors. So I guess we'll see what happens from there. Again, this is still not even all of what Megalag covered. I've only chosen a few things to talk about here that kind of piggybacked off of the things I was talking about from the first video. I just cannot, I've said like again 1,000 times now, but I cannot recommend watching this full video enough because it is a really surprisingly deep dive into a very, very suspicious and shady business that appears to have a lot going on under the hood here that is not very good. And the business model itself is bad for everybody, not just creators, not just businesses, and not just Honey users, but any online shoppers in general. They have a negative effect on. It's a bad deal across the board based on everything that has been presented here. Anyway, I'll stop yapping about it for now. That's really about it. See ya. Boogie2988 is not only the most manipulative YouTuber this platform's ever seen, but he's also among the stupidest as well. And this is actually one of his go-to bread and butter defense strategies anytime he finds himself in hot water. He'll always play the card of, oh, I'm not an evil person, I'm just a bumbling moron. I got zapped by an idiot beam. Timmy Turner made a wish that I'd be an imbecile and, well, that's out of my control now. I'm not a bad person. I'm just stupid, and you can't be mad at me for that. He uses this signature anime finishing move more often than Goku uses a Kamehameha to finish off an opponent. He is stupid, don't get me wrong, but he is also a bad person. Both of these things are true. And he's using this defense right now with his latest cryptocurrency scam. I wasn't even going to bother making a video talking about this because talking about any of Boogie2988's L's is like talking about taking the trash out. Who gives a fuck? It's garbage, so who cares? Everyone knows it's trash, so why even bother talking about it? Well, in this case, it's especially heinous because he actually did an interview with CoffeeZilla on CoffeeZilla's second channel, Voidzilla, where he was covering Boogie's new crypto scam. And he basically admits to it being a pump and dump, but his defense is that he was too stupid to recognize that. Like, he's too dumb to have known that this was going to be a scam that would hurt his almost non-existent audience. He has a very small pocket of people that still support him left, and he is using them like a fleshlight for a couple of fucking doubloons to pop out the other end as he puts his cock in it. It's disgusting. The Boogie298 fan club has less members than the goddamn Balan Wonderworld Enthusiast Society. Like, there's not many of them left, and now Boogie's running a cryptocurrency scam directly at them, yet denying that he's trying to scam his fans, saying that it's obviously just a joke for his fans to point and laugh at. This is mainly meant to target millionaire crypto bros who can kind of just get fucked. It's also worth mentioning that he was paid $10,000 to promote this fatty token meme coin by a very shady group. But I'm sure that's not important. I'm sure that 10,000 doubloons is all just part of the joke. It's all in good humor at the end of the day. I'm sure that had nothing to do with Boogie's involvement here. Now, I do believe that a lot of people that did put money into this were just hoping that they could dump the bag on even bigger idiots that bought into it trusting Boogie, because there are still people that do have faith in Boogie as a creator and as just a genuine person. I don't know how that still lingers after the documentary that's been dropped about him, where he did his absolute best to make himself look like an insufferable asshole, as well as the numerous other controversies he's found himself in, but there is definitely still a community that rallies behind him. And I have no doubt a lot of people that put money into this were hoping that that community would also put money in so they could dump it onto them. And maybe they were able to, maybe they weren't, but right now it looks like everybody, except for those on the inside, have lost money. You posted a video on your own channel called Fatty, because the name of his token, his scam shitcoin, is called Fatty. He posted the video on his channel. That's for your audience, Boogie. You posted it directly to them. Of course, some of them are going to buy into it because they still have some level of trust in you for whatever delusional reason that might be, but that's definitely broken by now, I imagine. He also just can't dedicate himself to just one excuse here, so he's trying to cover all of his bases so he doesn't look like an evil, manipulative piece of shit here. So he's constantly flip-flopping. So first he was kind of just on the nose about it, like posting tweets saying like he's fucked anyway, so might as well get some money out of it on the way out. You know, hashtag fatty, stuff like that. And then he's like, well, no, this was actually just for the crypto bros, and I'm not going to lose sleep over them losing money. I was upfront about you putting money into this, and you're probably going to lose it. That's the joke. So I don't care if you bought in. And his most outrageous one is where he tries to spin this as an actual useful, not scam service, where it's like, oh, this is actually just a really cheap way for the community to buy into my presence. It's going to be a community hub for all of us to kind of just like hang out. So you're kind of paying just to be a part of the community. Like, he's trying every possible excuse to avoid wrongdoing, even though he's fundamentally admitted that it's a pump and dump scheme that he's behind here, which is a crime. It's illegal. You can't do that. Maybe putting it into Magic the Gathering terms will help you understand it to wrap your fucking noodle around it. You're ignoring cards' mana costs, and in response, everyone hates you. You can't do that, Boogie. I watched a clip of a podcast Boogie's on once, and of course he always rants about how everyone's always out to get him. He's not a bad guy. Everyone else is evil for attacking him. He's not the bad guy. He's not the villain of the story. And my name got brought up. And he then went on to say that I want to see him dead. I'd rather see him buried 6 feet under than see him succeed, or something to that effect. Which is, of course, a load of horseradish, but it's a really interesting take, how Boogie perceives things. And I don't know if he truly believes this, or if it's just a classic Boogie drumming up sympathy kind of thing through lying. But I don't want to see you dead, Boogie, at all. I want to see you stop being a piece of shit scammer who manipulates his audience and constantly lies. That's what I want. That's what the majority of people would like to see. A triumphant story about how you finally took some responsibility for your own actions, grew from them, learned from them, and actually stopped being the asshole that you are. I'd like for you to come forward and stop lying about everything. So like in this situation, just taking it on the chin and openly admitting that you pump and dump scammed your audience. Just say like, hey guys, I fell on difficult financial times and yeah, I took advantage of you. You kind of tiptoed around that in the CoffeeZilla video, but you're not saying it with your whole chest anymore and making up excuses for it, even though it's an inexcusable thing that you've done. You should then refund everyone that lost money in this shitcoin scam that you've pumped. And then you should be working towards actually making things right and stop being the lying, manipulative asshole that you are. I don't want to see you dead, Boogie, and you know that. That's a very gross thing to say, to make that claim, and you know how fucking disgusting that is, which is why you say it. But I want to make it very clear right now. What I want is for you to stop being a lying manipulator. I'm going to play a little bit of his announcement video for this, because he really stands by that it's all just supposed to be a joke for his community, supposed to bring them together to laugh at the parody of Andrew Tate, where he's playing Andrew Cake, and it's all part of the joke. But That excuse doesn't work, Boogie, when you actually launch a shitcoin alongside your satirical take on shitcoins for your audience to actually lose money on. You dumb buffoon.
Fatty is a community for like-minded individuals that are broken free from the matrix. True happiness comes from a goldfish, from the same woman a couple of nights a month, and the occasional meme coin. Fatty for life.
Fatty for life, yeah. Look at this graph. Looks like every other rug pull shitcoin that ever entered the market. But Fatty for life, yeah. Boogie's the champ. He's the king. Who cares how many of his audience lost money on this? He does his absolute best to deny that that's a possibility at all. I'll go ahead and go through his pinned tweet because he's been, of course, on Twitter, as he is known to do, having meltdowns, doing his best to justify indefensible actions that he takes. So here's his big manifesto on the Fatty debacle. An iconic Boogie intro here to the tweet. This is just so on brand for him. Classic. In the last few days, I have learned a lot about the internet, myself, and crypto. For those that don't know the Boogie lore, he also lost almost all of his money in crypto well before this, so even knowing just how dangerous it is to buy into this kind of shit, he still promotes it to his audience, even though he himself is the victim of losing tons and tons of money in crypto dog shit. But yeah, it doesn't matter to him. Since it's not him losing money this time, why would he care? My intent by launching a meme coin was to make people laugh and happy. I also wanted to give millionaires who like meme coins a new toy to play with. It doesn't have use, Boogie. The only thing they can play with is watching the graph go down. The only thing they're playing with is your balls as you teabag them with this scam. I also wanted to create a community among those people to interact with as I have through the LolCow Live community. To say I missed the mark is an understatement for sure. But some of the people that are angry for some weird reasons. This never targeted fans, in quotes. In the 90 seconds this was available on websites, a casual fan could not have created a Coinbase account, get verified, figure out how to buy Solana, which is a chore in itself, to then purchase a meme coin. It is literally impossible. That process takes hours, sometimes days. You are so unbelievably wrong, you know that. You are blatantly lying. I also don't understand why it's inconceivable for him to imagine that some of his fans already have Solana and have Coinbase accounts, because a lot of people do. Cryptocurrency isn't some like fringe unheard of thing anymore. It's a very mainstream thing people have been hearing about for fucking years, so a lot of them do have accounts and they could easily buy this in the 90 seconds it was available. This targeted my fans only to have them point and laugh at the absurdity of the character, the video, and the idea that anyone would trust me for crypto advice. If the whole idea behind it, Boogie, was to just provide an entertaining video, why actually launch the shitcoin? Why even give them the opportunity to buy into something that you yourself know is worthless? You're open about how worthless it is and that it's just a waste of money. One of his early tweets is about how you shouldn't invest money in it. That's the way that he's trying to like hand wave his responsibility to his audience here by saying, well, he warned them not to put money into it, so it's kind of their fault. Why even give them the option? If the whole point was just to give them something to laugh at, why give them something to immediately lose money on, Boogie? That's so weird. That doesn't seem like it'd be a good part of the joke, having them lose money too. That seems to get rid of the joke. It's almost as if it wasn't a joke to begin with. And you're using that as a convenient excuse to try and make it seem like it was never the intention to make money off exploiting your fans. I did, however, want to target crypto bros who play with meme coins all day, every day. Looking at the wallets that bought and sold this coin, it's clear that is the only people who played with this coin. Many of them holding tens of millions of Ethereum and Bitcoin, they wouldn't miss the tens of dollars they might have lost, but many more made money than lost, it appears. What a hero. You're such a hero of the people, Boogie. Regardless, I still believe those same crypto guys might find value in this coining community, and I hope they do. For those holding, I plan to keep chatting with you guys and chilling with you for as long as you think it's fun. To the rest of the internet, I am not sorry for getting involved in a dumb shit meme coin. I eject the idea that I was ever scamming fans, and that simply did not happen, period. Look at the wallets for proof of that. I still think a meme coin can be a funny and amusing distraction for people who have far more money than they know what to do with, and I hope we can continue to fuck around with this dumbass coin. That is just chef's kiss standard Boogie meal right there on his Twitter dog shit that he serves on the plate. Just absolute nonsense, lying out of his ass, trying his absolute best to come out of this looking like the good guy. Well, I've learned a lot about myself, the internet, and crypto. Yeah, there were some shortcomings. I missed the mark, but you're actually all wrong because I'm not a bad guy. That was never the intention. Also, those crypto bros that I said can get fucked and I won't lose sleep over, well, actually, I'm hoping they find real value in this because I'm also like a hero to the crypto bros as well as my community because I never targeted my fans. Yeah, I uploaded it to my YouTube channel, but that was only because I wanted them to laugh at the character, not actually put money into it. I mean, I was never part of the plan, but because they put money into it, now there's a great community, which was always the intention the entire time. It's just absolute ramblings of a madman doing his absolute best to try and avoid looking like the bad guy. And in doing so, he always looks even more of a bad guy. In the interview he did with CoffeeZilla, he mentions his cancer diagnosis. Boogie has a form of cancer and he is on hard times financially, a lot of it because of his crypto investments, which now he's running one of his own. And he talks about how the money that he got, like the $10,000 to promote this, immediately went into like his medical his medical needs. And he uses this as a shield, where it's like, oh, you know, this is going on, thus it shouldn't be a problem that I scam people, because I need the money. There's plenty of other ways of making money though, Boogie, besides just scamming your audience. Like there was, for actual years, you had so many other opportunities to make money and actually not be a piece of shit. But you have time and time again made the worst possible decisions, not only for yourself, but for those around you, and you have constantly dug yourself deeper and deeper holes. And now you keep posting tweets, deleting tweets, where you're doing this Jekyll and Hyde thing about how, oh, I might be going to jail anyway, so I'm going to take money on the way out. Buy Fatty Coin. And then into this where it's like, actually, I'm such a good guy. Like, we were just making a community and you guys are getting mad for weird reasons. I'm misunderstood. It's crazy because you can actually trace Boogie's spiral to his Twitter activity. The frequency in which he used Twitter directly correlates with the frequency at which he lost subscribers. As he used Twitter more, his YouTube subscribers went down more and more because he kept letting the mask slip at the really awful person behind the facade that he puts on YouTube. He could not stop himself from saying the most revolting things and being the most unlikable asshole through Twitter. He was addicted to it, and he recognized so many times that if he just deleted Twitter, his life, his online career would have been in a much better spot, but he just can't help himself, and to this day, still can't help himself. Here's his most recent tweet, for example. I learned years ago that if I fart in public, Mudahar will make a video saying I gave people cancer. I'm pretty much free to do whatever I want because even when I try to do something nice, people say I ate a baby or something. In standard Boogie fashion, making himself the victim of everything imaginable. Somehow he's the victim in this pump and dump crypto scam that he's running here because Mudahar made a mean video about him. Oh man, it doesn't matter what I do because people are just going to say that I ate a baby or something. Mudahar is going to insult me no matter what. So what, I did a crypto pump and dump. Doesn't mean Mudahar needs to be nasty and rude about it. I can't even remember the last time Boogie2988 did something genuinely nice without it being something to benefit him personally. I can't think of it. And it's certainly not this crypto scam. There's no way you're going to sit there and actually try and say that this meme shitcoin that you've started is somehow a nice thing that you don't deserve to be getting insulted for. That's absolute lunacy. You yourself have said multiple times how worthless this is and you shouldn't be putting money into it and that you're basically stupid if you do. Like, and you're going to try and sit here and make a claim like, oh, even when I do something nice, they're just going to say I'm bad anyway. You're not doing anything nice. You are literally scamming your audience. No matter how much you want to plug your ears and close your eyes to deny that fact, you are. You have. You are scamming them with this. He also keeps saying that he hasn't sold any of his Fatty Coin, and it doesn't matter. Even if you really haven't sold any, I don't know why you'd sell now since it's completely flatlining, but even if you haven't sold any, even when it was up, it doesn't change the fact that it's still a pump and dump scam, and someone made a lot of money from this. The people that paid you to promote this in the first place. You did make 10,000 doubloons from the promotion of it. So you did make money from it. Even if it isn't from the direct sale of the coins that you hold, you still made 10 grand, which is a lot more than any one of your fans that bought into this trusting you. But anyway, I don't need to rant any further about this. If you want actual information about the scam, I highly recommend checking out Voidzilla's video or Mudahar's coverage of this. They both did a great job going over everything around it. I'm just here to talk about what a manipulative, stupid asshole Boogie2988 is, and how baffling it is that he keeps finding new ways to devolve even further into degeneracy. It's shocking. That's really about it. So yeah. There's a scam game on Steam right now called Banana that has over 630,000 players as of me making this video right now, and it is by all definitions a scam. And that player count is pretty misleading because the majority of it is either bots or people that just have the game pulled up in the background as they wait for drops. The Spiffing Brit just made a great video going over this entire scam, and now 3 days after that video came out, it's even more popular than it was when he covered it back then. Which is so interesting to me because he fully explained how the scam works, and yet people are still just flooding in to enthusiastically buy into it. It's like if you had read the headlines about Sam Bankman-Fried like scamming billions of dollars away from just your average Joe, and then you're like, alright, I'm gonna do my business with Sam Bankman-Fried, I can't wait to get on this, and then you throw your arms up in the air like, oh, how did I lose money? Where did I go so wrong? It's more pathetic than anything, honestly. The Spiffing Brit took the scam, spanked it around, threw it on the bed, bare ass, butt cheeks in the air, and still people dove in to give it a rim job and are wondering why they have shit on their mouths now and lost money from it. You have only yourself to blame, and you absolutely deserve to be made fun of, which is what I'm here to do. Heroes, not a word I like to use often, but I think what I'm doing here today is very heroic and brave. Someone has got to insult you for what you have done, if you are one of these people that are buying the fucking bananas in this game. It's not a game, it's actually just a PNG of a banana that you click and the number will go up, and every few hours you'll get a random drop. If you play anything on Steam, you know what this is, like CSGO cases, that kind of thing. But in the banana game, you get banana skins, which aren't even usable in the game. There's actually no functionality to even take that skin and use it in the game. The developer says he's going to do that at some point, but I highly doubt it because he doesn't need to. He's still just printing money from this dog shit from the absolute imbeciles, the fucking idiot buffoons that are buying into it. So why would he even bother doing that bare minimum? So what you do is you get these drops of these banana skins, and they just go into your inventory and they sit there collecting dust. And then you get out all your religious relics, light some candles, and start fucking praying that someone is going to pay you real-world money for those useless banana images in your inventory. That's it. This should ring some bells here because it's very similar in concept to the NFT craze from a few years ago, where basically you buy this image and you hope that someone comes along down the line and buys that image from you for more than what you spent on it. You don't want to be left holding the bag. It's the same concept in the banana game, except this one's working significantly better because they found much more vulnerable goobers here. Gamers. So the gamers here are buying these banana skins for up to like $50. There's actually even $1,000 banana skins in this game. And I need to stop calling them skins because they're not. It's just images in your inventory. You can't even do anything with them even if you wanted to. So you're buying these banana images from Google Images, and you are squatting on them, hoping that for some reason down the line, someone's going to pay you more for that, just because. That's the entire scam in a nutshell, and the creator is the one making tons and tons of money from it.
The banana market is immense. There are nearly 8 full pages of deep banana lore. Some of things are definitely slightly legally dubious, but the idea is very simple. As you play the game, Steam has an automatic drop system. The Icy Nana is special because it doesn't drop anymore. Wow! So logically, by it not dropping anymore, that actually increases the value of the product, because there's scarcity. However, no one has managed to sell an Icy Banana for more than 3 pence on the Steam market. Now, one of the reasons that makes me a little bit more concerned that this is a scam is because the creator of this game has set their inventory to private when it was previously public. This is a little bit of a problem because it means that it is impossible to see how many bananas hitting the marketplace are actually from them, meaning it's very hard to tell just how much Steam wallet value they're able to make off of this game.
Definitely worth noting that it's very possible the developer is dumping his bananas into the market, and it's not actually the community buying other community members' bananas, they're actually just buying his. So he's making even more. I'm not trying to accuse him of anything shady. I mean, banana is as above board and by the book as it gets. Now, it's impossible to know just how much they've made from this game so far, but I have to imagine with over 600,000 active players, it's a pretty penny. And there are legitimate people, like actual living, breathing, sentient beings that are purchasing some of the expensive bananas. Like, there's this one guy on Twitter who keeps celebrating that he bought one of the special bananas for $53. I don't know if he bought it as a shit post or if he actually believes he's going to make some money off of it or not, but regardless, that is shameful. And he's not alone. There are some banana enthusiasts that I think actually believe in this for some reason. Now, the main players of this game, no one's actually playing it because there's nothing to play. Calling Banana a game is like calling me jerking off a sport. Like, yeah, it's kind of a physical activity, but I don't think there's any real argument you can make for me being an athlete because I masturbate, right? Same thing with Banana. It's technically a game, I suppose, but all the people that are engaging with it are doing is running it in the background, farming drops, or having bots do it, where they open many different instances of Banana in order to try and get as many chances at a rare banana drop as possible, which is why the player count is so high. Everyone loves to think that they're 5 steps ahead of everyone else. They're the fucking anime protagonist. No one else had the genius scheme to conceive such a high-level mastermind idea of using an auto-clicker and virtual machines to open multiple instances of Banana to get maximum banana drop potential. Everyone that's opening this godforsaken program is doing that exact same fucking thing. And I guess none of them realize that all of those rare banana drops that are going for like tens or even hundreds of dollars in some cases are unobtainable through playing the game right now. You can't get them no matter how many virtual machines you open. You could start up an entire fucking, like, crypto mining operation just for playing Banana and looking for Steam drops, and you would never see one, because it's not possible to get them anymore. I just had a voice crack. This shit is so ridiculous. The only way you get those now is if you're the developer. That seems to be it. From what I can tell, there is no evidence of any normal human being outside of the developer and his close-knit group of friends having access to those rare bananas. So to all the delusional crypto bros who got burned on NFTs and are now just suffering from terminal fear of missing out and latching onto Banana, you are wasting your time and you're probably losing more money on your electricity bill just setting up your stupid little operations to farm this. You cannot make money through this game, just like you cannot get a date. It's just not happening. The only thing you can do, I suppose, is continue to get fucked by this weirdo developer as you're his little piggy bank to continue to exploit through this awful dog shit. I've said for a while now, people seem to want to be scammed. People go out of their way to get scammed. This is so blatant. And Spiffing Brit did an incredible video showcasing it, and yet it's more popular now than ever, and it only continues to get more popular. That's craziness. You know it's a scam, you're still buying into it. Now, I have seen a lot of discussion about how this game may be being used by other countries whose economies aren't doing so well, and I do suppose that's possible. We've seen that happen in the past with Venezuela and RuneScape, for example. Venezuela's economy wasn't doing great, and so a lot of individuals there started turning to farming gold in RuneScape to sell for money, and that became like full-time professions. But I just don't really see that being the case for this game. In RuneScape, you can make a lot of money just farming the gold in old school RuneScape. In Banana, you can't. The only banana images that are selling, mainly, are like the 3-cent ones, because that's all you can actually really get from drops from what I can tell. So the only things that have any real volume to them are the 3-cent skins, not so much like the rare skins. So to me it just seems very unlikely that something similar will happen here because it's 3-cent banana images that you're moving and not even all that often because the drops come at very long intervals. So it's not even something that you could really make a lot out of even if you had hundreds of bots running it. So I don't really see that being the case. I could be very wrong about that, but one thing I'm not wrong about is how much of a cringe loser you have to be to actually think that these are wise investments. If you are someone that is buying and selling banana Steam inventory images, you deserve to be spit on, 100%. Hey, this is just tough love right here, brother. I'm trying to get through to you. Please, open up. Let me in. This is an intervention. If you are buying and selling fucking banana images in this goddamn game, you are a loser, 100%, and you need to take a hard look in the mirror. This is just another terrible scam game. It's not even that unique in its scam. A lot of these style of games popped up during the NFT craze on Steam, and those all dwindled and died, of course, and I imagine this one will too when people start to realize that farming 3-cent banana skins is just not worth it at all. And buying $50 banana skins is certainly not worth it when no one's looking to buy them ever again. It's a fucking joke. It's a terrible, terrible joke that the creator's making a ton of money off of from people speculating on the market of banana images in a Steam inventory. So yeah, I just had to talk about this because it's so fucking interesting that it's only growing in popularity even after being fully exposed for the scam that it is. But anyway, that's it. See ya.